All right, so welcome back, students, and let's go to 135 now. Okay, so directly yesterday we tried to understand that what is the provision structure about 135, that is the CSR, and it has some basic level theoretical questions. But trust me, guys, attention must have to be made over these kinds of questions. The reason is sometimes it can create some complexity. Okay, first question is like, is it compulsory to follow CSR for all the companies? What do you think about this? Is it compulsory to follow CSR for all companies? Alright, what should be the answer of this question? Answer is no. It is not mandatory for all the companies. Only the specified class of companies need. Only, I would say, the specified class of companies need to follow the section 135. Now here the first question comes that what are those specified companies? So I want everyone to go here. And here you come to the accounts of company, and we have here section 135. Okay, and when you come down to here, it is written that write down every company which has the net worth of rupees 500 crores or more. Okay, so guys, first is what? Net worth. किससे ज़्यादा आएगा? 500 crores or more. Second, it is written the turnover. Turnover limit which is provided over here, it is the 1000 crores or more. After then, net profit. Net profit what is provided over here, it is 5 crore or more. Five crore or more must have to go for CSR. Must have to go for CSR. Got it? So that is the answer of my first question, that which companies need to go for CSR. Alright. After then I have the another question, and that is, once the CSR is applicable, how company shall follow it? How company shall follow it? So once the CSR is applicable, how the company shall follow it? Okay. So today you just think about Reliance. When this Companies Act 2013 came on charge, Reliance Industries Limited must have to go for the CSR. How it will be followed? So come on, don't expect Mr. Mukesh Ambani himself is involved in this charity exercise. No. One thing they know very well, that if you're expert of business, please pay full attention in business. If you are expert of charity, pay your full attention in charity. It is quite possible that if the charity oriented person comes to business, he may not be successful. And the same way, if the business person comes to charity, he may not be successful. Why? Charity means give up everything. Profit means try to gather everything. So what they have said, that you have to constitute a committee, special committee. Name of that committee is CSR committee. So how it will be implemented? So every company which needs to go for this, it has to constitute what? CSR committee, containing of at least 3 directors. At least 3 directors. And out of these 3, at least one shall be independent director. Alright. So now here the question comes, everything is fine, but what do you mean by here the term called independent director? बाकी सब तो ठीक है, ये independent director का मतलब क्या हुआ? So you tell me guys, what do you mean by independent director? Are you listening this for the first time or already you have done this? नहीं सुना इससे पहले, ठीक है? But independent director is a very fantastic concept. What does it mean? Today, you tell me one thing, if there are 5 directors who are working in the company since last 20 years, how much probability is there that they are thinking more about themselves and less about the company? Are there any chance where they can think about themselves more and less about? तो ये पॉसिबल है कि वो अपने बारे में ज़्यादा सोचे और कंपनी के बारे में कम सोचे. So whenever they are taking decision, what if they are thinking about themselves and there is no one in the board meeting to raise a single objection against their decision? And if guys, your decisions are not questioned, you can take any decision which is not good for the interest of the company. So Paras, what you will advise to the government on this basis? आपके advice देंगे इस पर? अच्छा वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ, independent का मतलब क्या हो? Appointed by the members. आपको बात बताओ बच्चा, कंपनी में कोई भी डायरेक्टर ऑर्डिनरी रिजर्वेशन के बिना पास नहीं होता, तो सभी डायरेक्टर आ जाएंगे ना. Exactly, ये बात आई. Appoint, okay, you tell me, in case of dispute, you would like to go to what kind of person? Someone who is related to, let's say you and me has a quarrel. Got it? So definitely I want someone who can judge us. हमारे, I would say, fair treatment दे पाए. What if he's your relative? What if he's my relative? My relative will take my side, your relative will take your side. Yes or no? So we want such a person. We want such a person who takes neither of the side, but whatever is the true stand, we should give to the board. Yes or no? So what happened is, under section 149, if you come here, section 149 in the directors chapter, they have introduced the concept of independent director. So if you are a public company, what kind of company? So out of all, at least 1/3, कितने? 1/3 directors must have to be what? Independent directors. Independence कौन होता है? तो उसकी definition नहीं है, but उन्होंने qualification दी. That independent director should not be the investor of the company. He should not be the employee of the company. He should not be director of the company. He should not be promoter of the company. In fact, he should not be any relative of the directors of the company. He should not be anyone whose relative is working as the key managerial personnel, CEO, CFO, something like that, in the company. He should not be debtor of the company. He should not be creditor of the company. So ultimately, you try to understand what these people are trying to make is, independent director should be someone who should not have any connection with the company or company's directors. Am I clear or not? When you are not connected, law believes that you are not influenced. And if you are not influenced, that means that you can take what? unbiased opinion. You can give what? Unbiased decision. Yes or no? So this man is known as what? Independent director. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आई बच्चों? So out of these three directors, at least one shall be someone who is independent in nature. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आई यहाँ पे? Okay. But it is not for all the companies to appoint independent directors. So many students are asking, sir, वो तो ठीक है, ये पैराग्राफ क्या कहना चाहते हैं? चलो, I want to give this as a homework and tell me बच्चा what this paragraph is trying to say here. ये पैराग्राफ क्या कहना चाहते हैं? लिखो वहाँ पे. It is written that it should consist of 3 directors and one of them should be what? Independent. But another question arises, is it compulsory to appoint independent director by every company? Answer is no. Only the class of companies, only what? Some class of companies which is meeting that criteria, it is compulsory for them to go for what? Independent director. So that company which doesn't require to appoint independent director, if that company constitutes the committee for 2 or more directors, it is valid compliance. I hope students the subsection 1 is clear in everyone's mind. Bolo? Alright. Now this I don't want to go. Board report must contain who is the member in your committee, तो मुझे उसमें नहीं जाना. Now subsection 3 is very basic section, उसमें मुझे डिटेल में नहीं जाना, बट एक चीज आपको बतानी है. Subsection 3 talks about what is the role of CSR committee. Write down. What is the role of CSR committee? So here whatever we are going to learn, that's the section 135 subsection 3. So भाई कुछ ज़्यादा उसमें नहीं दिया है. Look, first of all, it will formulate and recommend the board CSR policy, because at the end of the day, who is going to invest the money in the CSR company? So this committee will recommend the board why this money should be invested in what kinds of purposes. Alright. Recommend what kind of amount should be incurred, and third is monitor, means like consistently observe that whether the money is getting spent according to the policy or not. Yes or no? This word is very, very fantastic. Policy. Now what do you mean by policy? You should decide that your money should be given to what kinds of activities. Whether you want to promote education, environment, hygiene, women empowerment, sports, hunger eradication. So we are very confused why we want to spend the charity, but कहाँ पे spend करें? So they have actually provided here schedule 7. कौन सा schedule है? This schedule 7 contains the activities what can be used for the CSR compliances. So I will not read everything. This is the schedule 7 in correspond to what? Section 135. ठीक है? Now listen to the first paragraph of the schedule 7. It is written that activities which may be included in CSR policy. but may लिखा है. What does it mean? It is not exhaustive list. बेटा ये ध्यान रखना. In fact, I can ask you this question for 1 mark as MCQ, that the list what is provided under schedule 7, it is exhaustive or it is subjective, like I would say subjective, descriptive rather I would say. So answer is, it is just giving a description, just like the examples. You may take any one of them, but it is not limited to. What do you mean by not limited to? In fact, if you have any idea other than this, you can implement to that. स्पष्ट समझ में आ रहा है? So you try to read just 1 or 2 points. I don't want to go much in that. First is eradicating hunger, poverty or malnutrition, sanitation, including contribution to the Swachh Bharat setup. अब ये काफी बढ़िया चीज है. IU 2%, IU 100 crore rupees average net profit. 2% if I apply, it is coming to what, 2 crores. I don't want to spend on my own, but what I have done is I spend this 2 crore rupees to Swachh Bharat Kosh, and later on if I don't spend further again, is it fine? You tell me, what is our ultimate motive? Either we do or let's get it done by the government. I don't have any clue how to go for the charity and cleanliness. So what I have done, the 2% I given to the government, and I told the government, you decide how to use this. So donating to the Swachh Bharat Kosh, not only Swachh Bharat Kosh, but they have given some other funds also. So if you are donating to those funds, it is equivalent that you have spent the CSR to CSR activities. Make sense or not? तो बाकी का आप खुद देख लो बेटा. आई वॉन्ट यू, आप ये 4 पॉइंट पढ़ लो, 4 पॉइंट यहाँ तक पढ़ लो, ठीक है. जस्ट टू सी रिमेनिंग सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. बाय द वे आई विल नॉट टेल यू दैट मग अप ऑल दी एक्टिविटीज, बट एक बार देख लो कि ये एक्टिविटीज कहाँ कहाँ किस तरीके से अप्लाई होती है. एम आई क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? समझ में? एक बार देख लो बेटा. खाने में चावल खाए थे क्या? चावल खाने के बाद थोड़ा पानी पीना चाहिए, वरना आंखें भारी हो सकती है. ठीक है बेटा, एक बार देख लो. Got the idea? And then what kind of activities we can use to go for CSR implementation? And furthermore, a lot of things are given, but just for understanding purpose. I have few questions regarding this, but I don't want to discuss now. Wait, they are coming as the amendments. They are coming as what? Amendments. All right. Now directly come to subsection 5. Subsection 4 is nothing, but it is the board's duty. Board's duty. Let's come to subsection 5. Subsection 5 is talking about what is the contribution amount. Okay, so guys, contribution amount everyone knows 2% of, come on guys, 2% of the last 3 financial years profit average आपको लेना है. So the board of every company shall ensure that the company spends लिखा बेटा, ये word ध्यान रखना. Spends means just provision is not sufficient, you have to utilize that amount. Please keep on noting it down. Spends were declared. In every financial year, at least 2% of the average net profits of the company made during the 3 immediately preceding financial years. Now this is very interesting amendment, this green colored. The question is going like this: suppose there is a company and this company is incorporated in the year of 2019. Alright, not in 2019, but you take it like a 2022. In the 2022, company has 8 crore rupees profit. In 2023, the company has, let's say, 10 crore rupees profit. So tell me, bacha, what should be the amount of contribution? So earlier this green color amendment was not there. In fact, when you click on this 7, look, kahan gaya bhai 7? It has come to force as on 2021. So it's the latest amendment, as you can check it up. So when this green color was not there, how the students were calculating this? They were calculating like this: 8 plus 2 years now, the 10 plus second year ka profit kitna hai? 8, and the first year is not there because it's newly incorporated. 0 divided by 3. Is this treatment correct or not correct? Average net profit, is this treatment correct or not correct? In the third year, do you have 0? Arey why third year itself is not there? Why? So actual should be 10 plus 8 divided by 2. This should be the actual formula. But earlier there was a confusion that what if my company is newly incorporated and I fall in the section 135 applicability? Whether you are a private company or public company, what if your turnover is 1000 crores? What if your net worth is 500 crores? What if your net profit is 5 crores or above? And if you're following this model, should you go for this formula or you should go for this formula? It was not clear, but now they have clarified. They said if you are newly incorporated, then since incorporation you should count since first year, last 3 years you should not count. So if you are incorporated just recently, okay, and no any other years lapsed, only 1 year lapsed, so guys, profit divided by 1. If the 2 years lapsed, then 2 years profit divided by 2. And if the 3 years lapsed, then 3 years profit divided by 3. 4 years left, then 3 years profit divided by 3. Is this explanation clear? करना है या स्किप मार दो? करना ही है ना, पक्का? ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन लिखो तो ज़्यादा सही रहेगा. And you have to tell me what should be the answer of this question. The question goes like this: there is a company, suppose company falls, write down, company falls in the class of companies under section 135. Okay, CSR is applicable, right? You know that CSR is applicable. In the year of 2021-22, company has falling data. Company has falling financial information. Financial data. Write down, guys. Net worth is just 450 crores. Due to COVID, it got affected, so turnover is just 700 crores. And this year profit company put on is just 1.5 crores. Just 1.5 crores. So by referring to the provisions, I'm asking you a question that whether for the 22 23, for the 22-23, is it compulsory to continue CSR or not? Is it continue to CSR or not? That is the simple question. So what do you think about this for the 20-23? Because 20-23, this is the year, if you look at the previous year, net worth is less than 500 crores, turnover is less than 1000 crores, and profit is less than 5 crores. So what I'm trying to say, for the 21-22, the company is not falling any of the given threshold limit. So for the next year, should it provision for the separate 2% or not? That's the question. क्या लगता है आपको? करना पड़ेगा नहीं करना पड़ेगा? क्वेश्चन समझ में आई सब लोगों को? तो सीधी सी बात है भाई, when you are not falling in the criteria for the next year, नहीं होना चाहिए ये सब, बट ऐसा नहीं है. Company still must have to follow it. Why? Because once it is applicable, you have to continuously follow for at least 3 years. So until and unless you are below these 3 limits for the consistent how many years? 3 years. Then 4th year onwards you can back out. But once it is applicable, you have to go for at least 3 years. Until the 3 years gets expired, you can't get rid of it. So if there is an MCQ that once it is applicable, how many years the company should wait or company should maintain below threshold limit to get rid of the section 135 provisions, what should be your answer? 3 years. Am I clear? So guys, here for the 22-23, company is liable. Company is liable to this. समझ में आई बात? एक और क्वेश्चन देखो बच्चे यहाँ पे. The question goes like this. Suppose question, the company for the year 21-22 is eligible for CSR. Alright, so if it is eligible for the CSR, you tell me one thing. According to the calculation, company should go for the 2%. Company should go for how much? 2%. But somehow company spends and utilizes 5%. So how much extra company has utilized? 3%. Assume that total average net profit is coming to what, 100 crores. So company is supposed to have gone for the 2 crores, but they have utilized how much? 5 crores. 3 crores extra. So what happened here is, for the year 22-23, got it, including current year's profit, like the average net profit is coming to somewhere around, let's say again, let's take 100 crores constant. And my question to you, if it is 100 crore rupees, again according to the 2% application, average net profit, if you see, average net profit is 100 crores, and if you apply 2%, it comes to how much? 2 crores. But company's argument is already it spent 5%, which is 3% more than the required 2%. So this year I want to adjust 2 crore rupees against those extra paid 3 crores. So my question to you is like, can you carry forward that 3 crores to the next year to be adjusted? In fact, in the year 22-23, if company doesn't utilize 2 crores, is it fine? Because they already spent 5 crores and credit is still there. So the point is whether credit mechanism is allowed or not allowed. क्या लगता है? तो काफी इंटरेस्टिंग डिस्कशन और डिबेट हुआ था यहाँ पे. बात समझो, when you read the section 135, it is written, देखो क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे. I will tell you the 2 different interpretations. So if you are coming to here, subsection 5, it is written that the board of every company shall ensure that in every financial year, क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे? At least 2% of the average net profit shall be spent. But listen to these 2 words. Because I'm telling you that this provision is recently introduced. Which one? I would say carried forward wala. Yeah, not this one. There is the provision recently inserted, but the point is when ये नहीं था तो इसका interpretation क्या होता है? Financial year at least 2%. That means whatever percentage you are utilizing, that is restricted to that financial year only. At least 2% that financial year. If you're going for 5% that financial year. If you're going for 10%, it is for that financial year. That means year changes, new calculation. So earlier there was the interpretation that if you are going for the excess amount in this year, carry forward was not allowed. But guys, some companies said ये ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. You cannot tell us that you have to go exact 2%. Sometimes it can be more or less. Yes or no? So if you are paying more, law should allow us the carry forward. समझ में आ रही है बात है? तो कैरी फॉरवर्ड अलाउड है, ठीक है. राइट डाउन वन नोट फॉर दैट. Note for any year if the company for any year if company spends more than 2% of average net profit of previous 3 financial year, then but you can focus here, ये मैं लिख रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, then such excessively spent amount may be carried forward to next years, but not exceeding 3 financial years. Not exceeding 3 financial years. Did you understand what I am saying, Bacha? So this credit is allowed to be utilized, but for maximum how much? How many years? आपको 3 साल से ज़्यादा अलाउड नहीं है. ठीक है बच्चा, एक बार नोट लिख लो. All right. Is this clear to this? Now let's talk about some difficulties, some complexities, or some problems what the government of India faced, and just because of that, they came up with some amendments. Assume there is a company, average net profit is 100 crores. You apply 2%, it is coming to 2 crores. Government said that fine, you have to spend it for the CSR. But you just check it up, guys, this part. This part. This green part, it is 2021 amendment. So before this amendment, only sentence was here only till this. Are you able to see this? Are you people able to see this? यहाँ तक ही sentence था, आगे नहीं था. Now what happened is 2 crore rupees गवर्नमेंट ने तो बोल दिया दैट भाई तेरे को स्पेंड करना है. कहाँ पे स्पेंड करना है? CSR पे. But do you know this? It requires cash outgo. No matter I have profit, but profit is in the terms of debtor. Still I have not realized the money. And even after realizing, I want to reinvest the funds to my company. But government क्या बोलती है? नहीं नहीं, 2% को तो चैरिटी करना पड़ेगा तेरे को. Here for working capital requirement, I have applied to State Bank of India to get the loan. Government क्या बोलती है? नहीं नहीं नहीं, तेरे को पे तो करना पड़ेगा. So in that situation, what if I don't pay? In short, the question is now like this, that what if I fall in CSR? It is my duty to separate 2% and I have to spend for the Schedule 7 objectives or any other objectives. Yes or no? But what if for that particular year company couldn't have done this? There were some reasons I couldn't have done this. नहीं कर पाया. तो अब बताओ क्या consequences होंगे? So write down the next question, guys. What if the company fails to spend the amount of CSR? What if the company failed to spend such amount to CSR? That is what the question is. All right. Just a second. Yes. अब यहाँ पे थोड़ा आपको इस तरीके से जाना पड़ेगा. So, company is liable but failed to spend the amount of CSR. This is the situation now. Then what to do? So here the law has provided one classification. There are two classifications. The same answer will be given into two classifications. This is point number 1 and this is point number 2. Point number 1, point number 2. Alright. So here it is written that if the spending is proposed spending amount, okay, is related to ongoing projects ongoing projects. So that is the first interpretation. And second is, if the spending amount is related to other than ongoing projects. Other than ongoing projects. So please write it down, guys. Related to ongoing projects, and second is related to other than ongoing projects. First, tell me what should be the answer. Forget what is the answer. Like if you are the lawmaker, आप क्या इसमें रूल बनाते हैं? मीन्स क्या हो रहा है कि कंपनी की ड्यूटी थी 2% लेकिन नहीं कर पाया, तो अब आप क्या रूल बनाओगे? क्या? अच्छा, फाइन लगाओगे, वो तो है ही। उसके अलावा तो दो बताता हूँ बेटा। This amendment taken place recently in 2021. So if it is amendment, there are high chances that it can come to exam. Amendment आपको सबसे पहले करनी चाहिए, ठीक है? First of all, what was the provision? So I'm telling you, बच्चा, the lines till this, I'm telling you this green color is what? Subsequent. वो तो अभी 2021 में आया। पहले क्या रूल था? That if company fails to spend such amount, कुछ नहीं करना है. The board shall report it in the board report with the reasons why they have not done that. हाँ, यही पॉइंट था। If you don't spend, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या करना है आपको? रिपोर्ट कर दो बोर्ड में, due to this reason we couldn't spend for this year. But recently, when there was a council committee for the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they came that this 2% we have imposed in place of tax. Earlier I told the government wanted to collect the tax, but उसकी जगह पे उन्होंने क्या कहा? भाई, why we should take the tax? Instead of that, let's the people decide that where to invest it. Yes or no? That is better governance. That is better social responsibility, and private sector can perform better than the government. But here what the people are doing, they are just merely reporting in the board report, due to certain circumstances we could not do that. In circumstances can be anything, like there is no any genuine one. आप कुछ भी reason दे सकते हो वहाँ पे, तो उन्होंने चेंज कर दिया पूरा। उन्होंने यहाँ पे दो कैटेगरीज बनाई है। Listen to these words. If the spending amount is related to what? Ongoing projects. Now here this is very interesting to know about what is ongoing projects. Unfortunately, ongoing words is not defined in the law. चल आज मैं तेरे को पूछूं, what do you mean by ongoing projects? क्या रहेगा तेरा आंसर? What is the answer, Matru? It is going on. In what context? Construction. Yeah. So in that sense, you are close to the answer. You see, इसका मतलब ये होना चाहिए that these are those projects you have taken on your hand right now, but couldn't get completed immediately. For example, I want to construct the school. Can I construct the school by spending the CSR amount? Answer is yes. But when I'm planning to go for CSR, समझो बात को, school directly नहीं होता. First of all, I have to find the place. I have to get the lots of government approvals. Then I have to start building a building, construction, labor work, and sometimes all this procedure may require more than 1 or 2 years. So is it possible that I can finalize the land today, but I start construction in the next year? So till that, whatever unspent amount is there, उसका क्या करोगे? Out of 2 crores, I spend 1 crore for the land buying. Remaining 1 crore construction, I cannot start in this year. I want to start in the next year. So उस 1 crore को आप क्या करोगे? So this situation what I have narrated, it is about ongoing projects. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? तो बेटा why I'm saying this, let's take examination point of view. If this part is asking, answer will be different. If that part is asked in exam, answer will be different. So let's talk about this part first. If it is
Sir, nice got cancelled, sir.
finally you decide you want to be here or you want to go.
Sir, I would have attended classes, sir, from
Oh.
2000. Sir.
Then you just roaming around here, so now still you want to be here or
Sir, now I am here.
Pakka? Yeah, where I was. हाँ, तो दोनों में अलग अलग आंसर किया. देखिए हम बात करते हैं कि 2% टैक्स की जगह पे लगाया गया. So ultimately tax goes in whose hands? Exactly. So now law ने क्या किया? टाइट कर दिया प्रोविजन को. कैसे? Now if you fail to pay this 2%, you can't keep this money. If you can't spend for the charity, who will spend for the charity? Government will spend. So deposit this amount to government. And whenever I'm saying that you have to deposit this money to the government, it doesn't mean that you go to Mr. Modi in Delhi and say, sir, these are the money what I couldn't spend. You cannot say like that. There are some governmental funds like the Swachh Bharat Kosh, Ganga Cleaning Kosh, Environmental Protection Kosh. There are a lot of funds are there. You have to invest this unspent amount of 2% to those funds, and government will spend on your behalf. So guys, now you try to understand. You cannot just report that sorry, due to certain reasons I couldn't spend. अब वो ज़माना गया. If it is something other than ongoing projects, then as soon as the financial year ends up, you have 6 months, and within that 6 months you have to transfer such unspent amount to a fund specified in Schedule 7. तो Schedule 7 में कई सारे funds आए थे. एक आया था स्वच्छ भारत कोश. So today if I am telling you that unspent amount can you keep in your bank account, answer is no. If it is related to other than ongoing projects, that money you have to surrender to central government within 6 months from the end of the financial year, and then the government will decide how to deal with this. Make sense or not? But now the question comes, what about the money related to ongoing projects? तो अब उसके लिए आप क्या करोगे? Ongoing projects means sometimes it requires more than 1 year to complete, more than 2 years to complete. Yes or no? So don't you think as being the lawmakers you should allow the company to hold the funds for some time, and after that time gets expired you should transfer to government if you couldn't utilize within that given period. तो बेटा यहाँ पे लॉ ने आपको टाइम दिया है 3 years. कितने दिए हैं? So if the funds are related to ongoing projects and you couldn't utilize this, you have to keep the funds separate in a separate bank account called unspent CSR account. क्या बोलते हैं बेटा? MCQ में आएगा. That if the funds are related to ongoing projects, in most of the cases those would be infrastructural projects, school building, hospital construction, garden, park, something like that, tree plantations. So until you utilize this, you have to take the money separate from your business and keep it in the separate bank account, and that bank account name is what? Unspent CSR account. Money will be there for how many years? 3 years. Within 3 years you have to utilize this, and if you failed, then within 6 months of the expiry of this 3 years, I have to, I think, check, it's not 6 months, I guess it's 30 days only, but where it is provided मुझे वो देखना पड़ेगा. Let me check it up. No, not this one. Just a second. I'm just checking. This is about the overheads. No, this is not. Okay, let me just check it about ongoing. भाई अरे यहीं पे होना चाहिए भाई. ठीक है. Oh yes, this is subsection 6 is talking about ongoing projects. Any amount remaining unspent under the subsection 5 pursuant to what? So you understand subsection 5 is talking about other than ongoing. Subsection 6 is talking about ongoing. Fulfilling such conditions as may be prescribed undertaken by a company in pursuance of its corporate social responsibility policy shall be transferred by the company within a period of 30 days from the end of the financial year to a special account to be opened by a company in the scheduled bank called the unspent CSR account. जो मैंने कह दिया. So if you see that I say I can't spend this amount this year, so within 30 days of the end of the financial year transfer to the separate bank account. Over that this money stay how long? So it is written that and such amount shall be spent by the company in pursuant to the obligations towards the CSR policy within a period of 3 financial years. अब ये मजेदार बात है. Failing which, what if you fail? It is almost 3 years, but you couldn't utilize this. Failing which, the company shall transfer the same fund to a specified schedule 7 within a period of 30 days. I'm sorry, it's not 6 months here. That's what I was confused. So understand, within 30 days you have to transfer to the bank. Bank को कितने साल तक रहेगा? 3 साल. As soon as the 3 years gets expired, you have 30 days. Transfer that money to central government funds. Central government funds. So guys, over here, how will you remember that within 6 months from financial year end, transfer to central government funds. But funds which are provided under which schedule? Below schedule 7. But over here guys, if it is unspent within 30 days from financial year end, transfer where? To special account. What is a special account here? You know that. I don't want to tell that. Okay, over there it will remain 3 years, and after the expiry of the 3 years you have more 30 days, and from 30 days you have to transfer this to central government fund. That's all. So I hope guys this question जो काफ़ी easy लग रहा था, but मेरा amendment में अगर ये question आई तो काफ़ी तकलीफ दे सकता है. And that is why I was telling that CSR solve करना, it's not as easy as we are thinking about the other things. There is a lot of complexities. Am I clear to all of you? वो मैंने करवा दिया, right? कि if it is excess amount, it will be carry forward, but for next 3 years. After then, that will lapse, and you have to again needs to go for the new provision.
Okay, for example, I am constructing a building.
Okay, you are constructing a building. Okay.
Where I open some 6-7 classes as a poor people to get the medical. That is not the CSR.
That is fine.
So it is an ongoing project. It will take 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
So in the first year, my profit was we went to 130 crores.
Okay.
So 3 crores I will get.
No.
And
That year's 2% won't be considered. Average 2% will be considered. So that 150 crore is the average. Okay, then 3 crores.
Same goes for the next year.
Same will also come for the next year. So yes, this year how much you have spent?
Total building cost will be 10 crores. But from the CSR it came only 6 crores. 3 crores in the first year and 3 crores in the next year.
Yes, so remaining 4 crores you have to arrange as a private donations or ask from others.
You cannot take it as CSR.
You can take it if you hold the 10 crores you are spending as a CSR. So you understand, in the first year 3 crores will be adjusted. Second year another 3 crores. And remaining 4 crores for the next 3 years you have to utilize. So for the next, after completing the first 2 years, for the next 3 years, for the next, means you are trying to understand that when this 10 crores was incurred, When this 10 crore was incurred, if this 10 crore was incurred today, you have maximum 3 years to adjust it, carry forward. तो तेरे हिसाब से तू समझ कि पहले साल में 3 करोड़ यूटिलाइज हो चुका है, दूसरे साल में 3 करोड़ यूटिलाइज हुआ, तो तीसरे साल में कंपल्सरी तुझे वो 4 करोड़ यूटिलाइज करने ही पड़ेंगे, कहीं ना कहीं आपको एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा. दैट इज फॉर द थर्ड ईयर. इफ यू डोंट, हाँ तो थर्ड ईयर में तो अगर नहीं करेगा तो चलेगा. फोर्थ ईयर में कोई एडजस्ट हुआ हो या ना हुआ हो, तुम्हें कंटिन्यू नया फ्रेश कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा.
Sir, what if the average profit is 100 and my cash is 0?
टेक द लोन.
क्या? Take the loan.
क्योंकि तुम समझो बेटा, मैं फाउंडेशन वालों को एक चीज समझाता हूँ, फिलोसॉफी ऑफ द बैलेंस शीट. एफएम पढ़ा है ना आप लोगों ने? व्हाट इज कैपिटल बजटिंग?
तो भावित सर,
अच्छा, सॉरी. प्रॉफिट क्या है? चलो एक सवाल पूछूं मैं, मातृ और आई थिंक धनुष कैन आंसर दिस इफ दे रिमेंबर फाउंडेशन. लेट मी आस्क नाउ. In my profit and loss account, there is 100 crore sales, 10% profit. It's a 10 crores. I want to touch my 10 crores. I want to handshake with my 10 crores. How would I do that? Handshake. I want to handshake with my profit. How would I do that? I want to handshake with my profit. How will I do that? मेरे को हाथ मिलाना है मेरे 10 करोड़ से, कैसे करूंगा? I want to touch my 10 crores. How would I do that? What if it's not cash sale? I want to touch my 10 crores profits. How would I do that? अच्छा, बोरो करो ऐसा
to collect from debtors.
तो प्रॉफिट थोड़ा हुआ तो डेट हो गया.
To collect from debtors.
What if they are not paying? Because credit period is not expired yet. ऐसे इंटरव्यू में आंसर थोड़ी दे सकते बेटा. 20 लाख का जॉब है, 25 लाख का जॉब है, 30 लाख का जॉब है, ऐसे आंसर दोगे इंटरव्यू में? दिमाग ओपन अप करो भाई, सवाल को समझो, बैलेंस शीट को समझो. आप इतना सब कुछ पढ़ लिए, बैलेंस शीट का एक मामूली सा सवाल मैंने पूछा पर तोते उड़ गए आपके. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Understand the philosophy of the balance sheet. Can I ask you another question? Why the two sides of the balance sheets are always equal? There are two sides of the balance sheets. I think all of you know that, right? कौन कौन सी वो? Two sides of balance sheet क्या है? Liability and assets liability. Why the total of both the balance sheet sides are always equal?
asset increases when simultaneous increase in liability.
ऐसा जरूरी है क्या?
मतलब पॉसिबल होता है तो asset बढ़ता है कमाना है.
अच्छा, ये आंसर दोगे? आप खुद कन्विंस्ड हो इस आंसर से?
अगर एसेट बढ़ता है या तो लायबिलिटी या कैपिटल.
क्या 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 क्या?
एसेट अगर बढ़ता है तो फिर या तो लायबिलिटी या कैपिटल.
क्यों बढ़ता है?
या तो
अच्छा, सिखा दिया किसी सब्जेक्ट में, असेट बढ़ा तो लायबिलिटी बढ़ेगा, कैपिटल बढ़ेगा, बट व्हाई? क्यों बढ़ेगा? रीजन क्या है उसके पीछे? पार्डन?
nothing comes for free sir.
रियली ये आंसर आप इंटरव्यू में दोगे?
Sir, नहीं sir.
That's what the asset is
व्हाई?
capital also increases.
व्हाई?
So why? Because assets is equal to liability.
बट व्हाई एसेट इज इक्वल टू लायबिलिटी प्लस? हाँ भाई, आज तो डिटेल में जाके रहे. व्हाई? पता नहीं सर, किताब में लिखा था. इट वाज रिटन इन द बुक, दैट्स व्हाई. दैट मींस यू डोंट हैव योर ओन आंसर.
Sir, why? Because if liabilities is more than if liabilities are more than assets, then the company is actually going under a loss and will not be able to.
There are, I can tell you thousands of companies which liability, it's Adani, its liability is far, I would say 110 times more than its assets. What would you call it? Hindenburg latest report. अरे मजे में काम कर रही है भाई. I'm not talking about the finance. I'm talking about the philosophy of the balance sheet. हम इतने साल निकाल दिए लेकिन कभी ये सोचा नहीं कि A is equal to L plus C, but why? A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square, but why? And it's not your fault. Whenever you're asking to your teacher what they used to say, sit down, it's not coming in your exam. ऐसे नहीं होता. Application. Today I'm telling you why it is happening. Are you interested to know that? Why the two sides? Thank God I was expecting one another weird answer. Sir, it's a double entry system. Whatever is debited, the same is credited. But again, my question is why? All right, चल हम बात करते हैं उसके ऊपर. तो हम बेस से लेंगे गाइस, ठीक है? Assume today Mr. Sparsh is bringing 5 lakhs rupees land as a capital to business. What journal entry will pass? Land account debit to? Come on, Dhanush. If he's bringing 5 lakhs rupees, land as a capital to business, so what should be the journal entry, Matru? Land account debit to capital account. Now please try to understand in the balance sheet how it will be reflected. So at the asset side it will be land of 5 lakhs. Are you yes or no? At the left hand side the capital will be of 5 lakh rupees. This is what will be the presentation of our balance sheet. Yes or no? So ultimately, bachcho, what we have proved in the class, if I want to touch my capital, how would I do that? If I want to touch my capital, just like I ask a question, touch the land, but if I'm touching the land, it's a fixed asset, it's not capital, no sir.
So that's the cash.
Cash कभी है ही नहीं.
Like
Sell the land.
Sell the land, whatever comes is the cash. तो मैं कैश को टच कर रहा हूँ, कैपिटल कहाँ है?
So capital.
नहीं, वो तो कैश हुआ ना, कैश इन हैंड हुआ. इफ आई वांट टू टच माय कैपिटल, कहाँ है वो?
Capital is non-existent. Cash.
अच्छा तो क्या मतलब ये लोग बेवकूफ है जो कैपिटल लिखते हो, एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता. क्या आंसर है भाई आपकी? एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करते.
So करता है in the form of land. So
अच्छा इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लैंड, तो वो तो फिक्स एसेट है, कैपिटल थोड़ा हो. कैपिटल एंड फिक्स एसेट सेम या डिफरेंट है? सोचो ही, अरे भाई सीखना है ना. आइए बेटा इसकी मिस्ट्री सॉल्व करते हैं आज. मेरे को बड़ा मजा. बात यह है कि आप अपने ही जाल में फंस चुके हो भाई. इतना बड़ा ट्रैप आई थिंक आई हैव नेवर. ओके ओके ओके, आपके सामने जो है ना बैलेंस शीट, वो बैलेंस शीट नहीं, एक इल्यूजन है. एक इल्यूजन है. इल्यूजन समझ रहे हो आप? आपकी पहली आंसर ही सही थी. व्हेन यू टच योर लैंड, एक्चुअली यू आर टचिंग योर कैपिटल. डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? बिकॉज वन इज द फॉर्म and other is the application. Form stands for the source. I'm touching my fixed asset which is representing my capital. Assume now I am taking the loan of 25 lakhs from State Bank of India and I am buying the machinery. ठीक है? And if I am asking you the similar kind of question that if I want to touch my loan, how would I do that? So look, capital is a concept. Capital means my own money, my own property. That's called the capital. So if I touching my 25 lakhs of machinery, it's not owned by me yet. क्यों? I have taken the loan from the outsiders and then I invested here. So if I touch my machine, am I touching my own money or I'm touching somebody else's money? So guys, touching the machine is nothing but I'm touching the loan. Today let's say the firm gets dissolved. If I sell the machine at 25 lakhs, तो वो तो मेरे को बैंक को दे देना पड़ेगा, मेरे हाथ में क्या आएगा. बट ये जब लैंड बेचूंगा 5 लाख की, तो मेरे पैसे. Are you getting my point? So ultimately what am I trying to say? Whatever is reflecting in the asset and whatever is reflecting in liability side, these two are not different. दोनों एक ही side है. So I can tell you that one side is the mirror image of the other side. Do you agree with that? आप आईने में देख रहे हो, दर्पण में देख रहे हो आप, तो जब बेटा जब चीजें ही दो नहीं है तो टोटल दो कैसे हो सकता है? वो तो सेम ही आने वाला है. Now let me tell you an interesting fact. I told you that I have sold the goods for the 100 crores and I purchased also. Do you understand? So let's go in this way. Here my creditors will be for 90 crores or 90 lakhs to take. 90 crores ले लेते हैं. 90 crores is equal to 9,000. नहीं, 90 crores कितना होता है? 9,000 lakhs, right? And the same things I sold to my. Thank God I didn't ask you the question, what if I want to touch my sales?
That's the data.
तो आप समझो बच्चा, if the same things I sold to my debtor, 100 crores का sales हुआ है, पूरा credit है, पूरा credit है. So can I say my sales is nothing but my debtors? My purchase is nothing but my creditors. So far I have not paid. Come on. So as soon as I touch my debtors, I'm touching my sales, and profit is the part of sales. 10,000 crore rupees sales, 9,000 crore rupees. So that 9 crores is nothing but, sorry, 10 crores, that's nothing but what? My profit. So can I say that 10 crores is hidden in this debtor? So as soon as I handshake with my 10 crore rupees worth debtor, I am touching my profit, my dear students. तो जो प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में दिखता है वो बैलेंस शीट में भी होता है. क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? I'm asking to the entire class. So ultimately guys, what you have learned today, these two sides are not different, they are one and same. And that is why guys, whatever you are looking at the asset side, it can be classified into three forms. Either the asset may form what? It is my capital. Either asset can be my capital, or it can be my debt, or it can be my profit. है ना? या तो एसेट्स मेरी खुद की है तो कैपिटल होगा, कहीं से पैसे लेके एसेट की है तो वो एसेट में, वो एसेट क्या बन जाएगी? मेरा डेट. और अगर मैंने कुछ इंक्रीज किया है, 90 करोड़ की एसेट मैंने 100 में बेच दी, तो 10 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट हुआ जो कैश में या डेटर में होगा. नहीं समझे आप? तो अब मेरी एसेट प्रॉफिट में है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई गाइस, आपका जो फॉर्मूला अकाउंट में पढ़ाया जाता है वो गलत है. एक्चुअल फॉर्मूला आज मैं आपको कहता हूं, एसेट इज इक्वल टू सी प्लस एल प्लस पी, ये होना चाहिए. बोल देना इन्वेंटेड बाय सी एच चिराग खानी. And you say नहीं but at the end P gets merged with C. But that happens in partnership, that happens in proprietorship, not in company. In the company we never ever credit profit with the shareholders account. In fact we don't have shareholders account. Come on, we have just a paid up share capital account. Come on. And we keep this profit separate under the general reserve, free reserve. We never ever add into the paid up capital component. Do you know that? So on what basis you are diluting P with C? Not allowed. Why? This is what is the correct answer. So asset form can be represented in these three formats. Come on. So guys, capital and asset both are same. Debt and assets both are same. And profit and asset both are same. दोनों अलग है ही नहीं, तो भाई टोटल कैसे अलग होगा? So now guys, if I handshake with my 10 crore rupees worth debtors, and if it is cash, I touch my 10 crore rupees worth cash, actually I am touching the assets which is representing my profit, which is representing my sales. समझे या नहीं समझे आप लोग? यस और नो? आई थिंक पर्सनल डाउट पूछ रहा बेटा, उस डाउट को अभी आप रिपीट करो. अब समय आ गया. क्या डाउट पूछा था आपने?
एवरेज प्रॉफिट 100 है.
एवरेज प्रॉफिट
100 है.
100 है.
और आपका कैश इक्विवेलेंट 0 है.
आपकी कैश 0 है, तो प्रॉफिट है मतलब एसेट है.
उसका डेटर्स में,
डेटर्स में है. आज का डेटर कल की कैश है.
तो मैं 6 मंथ्स में डिपॉजिट करता हूं.
हाँ तो लोन ले लो, असेट बेच दो। डेटर को नहीं बेच सकते तो दूसरी चीज को बेच दो, और डेटर में से जो रिकवर हो उस असेट में कंपनसेट कर लो।
कंपल्सरी है।
एग्जैक्टली भाई।
ये
तो
रिलैक्सेशन।
देखो, लॉ ने ये नहीं कहा कि कैश डिपॉजिट करनी, वो कहता प्रॉफिट का जो 2% है वो डिपॉजिट करना है। So that you will realize anyhow, and you have to take it. So that was your question, and I think now you have understood. Your profit is hidden in the form of the assets, either debtor, or let's debtor is realized, then cash got invested in fixed assets, then your profit is hidden in the fixed assets. Are ha na? So sell it out, yaar. You cannot argue to the government like this. Sorry, I don't have cash, so I will not pay. And if this argument is entertained, why anybody will keep the cash? बेवकूफ है हम, क्यों कैश रखेंगे भाई, आके सीधा इन्वेस्ट मार दो गोल्ड में। अगर ये आर्ग्यूमेंट गवर्नमेंट मान लेती है तो ये पूरे प्रोविजन को आप बाईपास कर सकते हो। डू यू गेट धनुष मात्र? ऑल राइट, बट इट वॉज अ फैंटास्टिक डिस्कशन, मे बी आई होप यू लर्न समथिंग। तो ये समझो आप, डबल एंट्री सिस्टम चीज तो एक ही है।
This we didn't have the idea. Not even I didn't.
Illusion, Bhava sir used to say one thing. If you would have attended his sessions, like everything is moh maya, illusion. It looks double, but actually it's not double, it's one and only one. And that's the reason you should be always matching, na? So liability and assets, look, my thing is both are mirror image of each other. It is not possible to separate. It is our mistake that we are separating capital from the assets. अरे भाई दोनों एक ही है, दोनों एक ही है, ठीक है? Okay. So till this everyone clear? That what do you mean by like unspent amount wala? Unspent amount is clear in everyone's mind. Good. So okay, set off is over, subsection 5 is over. Yeah, net profit will be calculated as per the 198, so that is different, skip it, उसको नहीं करना है हमको यहाँ पे। Subsection 6 also we have done, right? 30, 3, 30, that's what you have to remember. 30, 3, 30, that's the pattern what you have to remember. Am I clear? Alright. Now let's go to here. Subsection 7. So subsection 7 is nothing but the penalty clause, that if you fail to do all these things, right, then according to subsection 7 you have to pay certain penalty, so which can, I would say, can be up to 1 crore, but I don't want to go to that penalty clause. That's, by the way, we are not able to remember that, or if you want to remember, just mug it up, that's what I would say. Alright, okay, let's leave it now. This subsection 9 is the amendment over here, and this is just a theory I am telling you. So what does it mean subsection 9? Here I have seen that some faculties even are misinterpreting this. I don't want to name, but as I have seen some faculties in the department also, जो यहाँ पे मेरे को डाउट पूछते हैं कि भाई चिराग सर ये subsection 9 का क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन है। तो many students are saying that if your CSR contribution doesn't exceed 50 lakhs, then you no need to go for CSR. That is what is the interpretation I received from the other faculties. और मैंने ऐसे कर लिया, भाई ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं सर, it is written under subsection 9. Section 135 subsection 9 sir, it says that if your CSR contribution calculation is up to 50 lakhs, you no need to follow CSR. It is exemption, sir. I told भाई carefully read it क्या लिखा। बताओ बच्चे, is this interpretation correct? आपके सामने read करके बताओ। Try to read it. Is this interpretation correct? What they are saying?
Sir, only it under CSR committees?
Exactly, they are saying that if it is up to 50 lakhs, you no need to constitute the committee. That means the CSR compliances will be done by the board itself. Separate committee is not required. So this is not exemption from the CSR compliances, it is just the exemption from the committee compliances. Do you understand? तो नोट लिखना हो तो लिख दो, एक छोटी सी नोट है, लिखो. If the company's contribution amount under section 135 is if company's contribution to CSR under section 135 is up to 50 lakhs, is up to 50 lakhs, company is not required to constitute, the company doesn't require or is not required, whatever you want to write you can write, doesn't require to constitute the CSR committee, and functions shall be discharged by the board of directors of such company. Functions shall be discharged by whom? Functions shall be discharged by the board of directors of such company. But am I clear what is this is trying to say? So till this whatever we have done, that was all about the provision 134, but I have not started the rules yet. Rules are yet to be started. And I told you 134 is such a big thing that provisions are less, rules are more. तो अब हमें थोड़ा rules को पढ़ना है. Are you clear? Some rules I will discuss, some rules I will not. I think Paras has a doubt.
सर तो जो भी कंपल्शन पड़े थे उसमें एक का प्रोविजन की नेट प्रॉफिट should be greater than 5 crores.
हाँ, 5 crores or more.
और अगर 2% 2% more CSR that is the rate.
रेट 2% है, तो आप 5 करोड़ के ऊपर तो एप्लीकेबल हो गया. पिछले 3 साल का प्रॉफिट निकालो, चाहे चलो 1, 2 और 5 हुआ, एवरेज करो, उसके ऊपर 2% अप्लाई करो. प्रॉफिट 5 है, 500 नेटवर्थ है, 1000 टर्नओवर है. ठीक है. So now we are moving towards these certain questions. चलो पहला क्वेश्चन आप समझ लो. The question goes like this, that can company comply, you can write this one, can company comply CSR under section 135 by taking the association, by taking the or by making, ऐसा लिखो, by making the association with NGO or section 8 company. अब यहाँ पे बहुत बड़े अमेंडमेंट्स आए हैं बच्चों, वो आपको ध्यान में रखना है. Lots of amendments taken place here. You answer me one question, that section 8 company which is professionally created for the non-profit activities and a company which is clearly incorporated for profit making activities. So sometimes it is wisdom that you transfer your philanthropic activities to section 8 companies or NGO like associations. But the first question comes like, is it allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Companies are doing that only. What they do is they form the CSR committee and they have the ideas or the plans for the next 10 or 15 years, that within during this 10 to 15 years what they want to achieve, whether they want to achieve the health sector, whether they want to achieve the education sector, what they want to achieve. And back to back what they are doing is like they are giving the funds to the NGOs and they are giving the funds to a section 8 company, and they are just putting the control over that NGO and the section 8 company, that whether they are performing well or not. That's all. Let me tell you what your Reliance के funds कौन सी company manage करती है? Section 8 company? Reliance Foundation. Reliance Foundation. Infosys 2% funds are getting managed by Infosys Foundation. Recently, a few months back, like I visited Kidwai Hospital. Have you heard about it? Here nearby. So if you go to just visit it, it's a beautiful hospital. What I see, like the way the campus is maintained, it's wonderful. Less dirt, clean, hygiene is maintained very well. So what happened is, recently, like few years back, Kunal Bhai's mother, Bhavesh sir's mother and brother passed away just within 3 days interval due to COVID-19. So I was asked to go to Kidwai to bring some antibiotics injections, like very heavy doses. So there was actually lack of scarcity of the stock. I went to Kidwai and somehow I could manage this. So almost around we took 20 injections, almost around. Out of them, somewhere 12 or 13 got utilized, but unfortunately it failed. The reason is there were no more. So remaining 7 injections, me and Bhavasars thought that now it's not of any use. And this medicine is very, I would say, expensive and very significant medicines. So we should not waste it. Better we donate back to Kidwai Hospital so that somebody else can utilize this for the charity purpose. So I went to Kidwai and I consulted some people that I want to donate this injections, very precious, and still 1 year expiry is pending. So why you should not utilize this for some other patients who are lacking the finance. So 7 था, मार्केट में एक इंजेक्शन की कीमत कुछ 3,000 रुपये थी, बट गवर्नमेंट के डिस्काउंट में किडवाई में कुछ 800 या उसके आसपास मिला था मेरे को. So I said, why the people should struggle for this? एक injection 800, 900, it's a very huge amount. You are sitting in Christ. That's why you don't realize, because your parents have paid for that. But once you come to your own jobs, you will realize that why it is not as easy to manage. Why earning even sometimes 70,000 is a very big chunk for the people. So what I see is like I was directed towards one children hospital within the Kidwai campus. You go there and donate over there. So what I saw is like besides the Kidwai children hospital, there was Infosys Foundation. And then suddenly I clicked, okay, it is Section 8 company of the Infosys Limited, and most of its CSR activities are getting done through it. And one of them is the promoting health sector. So I donated those over there, but ये मेरे को पता चला. So what I'm trying to say that yes, it is allowed, but now some amendments are taken place. What sometimes most of the companies were doing, assume that you have 200 crore rupees profit, average net profit, apply 2%, comes to how much? 4 crores. Come on guys, who no matter has been Indians, you would love to spend the money, but here 4 crores किसको बोलते हैं? 4 crore, it's a huge amount. ये सोचो KBC में कितना दिमाग लगा हो तो उतने तक पहुंच पाओगे आप. It's too much huge. So what the people were doing, they had some collaboration with the NGOs. They were spending 4 crores on check, and under the table they were taking back some cash back. Yeah, these kinds of practices are very common in the market. I'm telling you on record. Government can investigate about this. No, but they won't. The reason is they are also getting back down. So बात ये है कि चलो वो चलता रहता. But government is very smart. उन्होंने क्या कहा? This should not be done. When you can see that you are spending the money under the table, you are taking back, then ultimately what you are doing, it's a useless, like ऐसा तो नहीं होना चाहिए. And that is why they made qualifications for the NGOs, qualifications for the Section 8 company. So now every Section 8 company cannot take the projects on behalf of company. Every Trust cannot take the projects on behalf of company. Every cooperative society cannot take. Every NGOs cannot take. NGO can be in the form of section 8 company. NGO can be in the form of trust. NGO may be in the form of the cooperative society. So here we have to learn that what is the qualification of such organization. तो पहला समझो लॉ क्या कहता है, यू शुड हैव द रजिस्टर्ड लाइसेंस फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. सो दे हैव यूज्ड द वर्ड रजिस्टर्ड ट्रस्ट अंडर द गवर्नमेंट, registered section 8 company under the government, registered cooperative society under the government. We don't have any problem. Anytime you can give your money to these people and whatever they are doing, it would be valid compliance. Second category, they have said, what if they are not registered with the government but they are running their section 8 company independently? You understand? Then they have said, first of all, experience criteria. क्या कहा है? Experience criteria. Experience is given 3 years. You should have experience of at least 3 years in that field for which you are taking money from the company. Over and above that, you have to get one certificate from the ROC. Name of that certificate is CSR1. क्या है? CSR1. आप apply करो. Lot of chartered accountants and the company secretaries got a lot of assignments from such trust and section 8 company के चिराग भाई certificate दिला के दो, because until and unless you have CSR1 you are ineligible to accept the funds to comply section 135. So today you understand, if exam is asking you like this, the funds are provided to section 8 company having CSR1 and funds are transferred to NGO or the section 8 company without having CSR1. Which company's payment would be considered as a valid compliance of section 135? So answer should be CSR1. जिसके पास CSR का लाइसेंस नहीं है वो कंपनी का 135 का पैसा यूटिलाइज नहीं कर सकता. But again, अरे यार, problem is government of India has distributed CSR1 just like halwa. Then what was the point? You didn't ask a question. You didn't interrogate the documents. जिसने भी अप्लाई किया आपने दे दिया. So what makes difference? Why you played all this drama? Doesn't make sense. But do you understand what I am saying here? Okay. तो ये आप ध्यान रखिए, इन द रूल्स आपको ये सबसे ज़्यादा समझना है. So what I want from you is now it is the time to go for that particular rules. Now we are learning the rules बच्चा. ये नहीं. Can you find any other as maybe prescribed word here? Maybe this one. All right. नहीं है, ये तो CSR1 के बारे में है. No, still I have to go down. They have mentioned everything, but whatever rules I need to specify वो नहीं लिखे उन्होंने. किसको रूल्स मिले? ओके, रूल्स अगर नहीं मिलते तो हम यहाँ पे ढूंढेंगे. ठीक है. So we want the rules regarding which section? एक काम करते हैं, रूल्स में हम लिखते हैं बेटा corporate social. Okay, let's check it up what we are getting. So yes, this is what we have entirely. अबे क्या मजाक है यार. ओके, दिस इज कंपनीज एक्ट. ओके, कंपनीज एक्ट में हमको कौन सा चाहिए बच्चा यहाँ पे? We are talking about not a management accounts of company, and which sections rules we want. Look, this is another way how we can find the corresponding rules. Sometimes it is not available as a link, तो आप उधर जाओ and in here books of account, electronic board, ये सब हम कर लिए, हमको नहीं करना है. मैटर से 134 अब शायद यहाँ पे आएगा थर्ड पे. Yes. Disclosure about CSR policy. नहीं यार. बाकी रूल्स कहाँ हैं? एक सेकंड रुकना बेटा. ऐसा कैसे हुआ? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था. डिस्क्लोजर तो ठीक है. हाँ, ये मुझे चाहिए. आर एबल टू सी दिस द कंपनीज कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी पॉलिसी रूल्स. ये मुझे चाहिए. ये क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है मेरे को? It is not here. It is also not here. एक सेकंड रुकना मुझे. Leave it. Okay, if it is not here, it is there, but we have to, I think, find it out. So I have some amendments what I have made here. I just want to draw your attention towards that. ठीक है, हम डायरेक्टली उधर जाएंगे. यहाँ पे सवाल क्या था हमारा? व्हाट वाज द क्वेश्चन? लास्ट में क्या पूछा आप लोगों को? एनजीओ के बारे में, CSR 1 के बारे में, राइट? सो ऑल राइट, दिस ऑल आर दी इम्पोर्टेंट अमेंडमेंट्स. और उसको मैं आपको बात करते बच्चों. Yes, this is under 135. Got it? So over here I was discussing something about section 8 company and all that. So they have to get the form number CSR 1. Alright, look at guys, this is what the rule I was looking for. Who is eligible? Who is eligible to go for CSR implementation? Are the fonts clear or I should zoom it little bit? अब देखो, the board shall ensure that CSR activities are undertaken by the company itself or through a company established under section 8 or the registered public trust or the registered society having ATG and the 12 certification from the income tax, established by the company either singly or along with the other company. So no problem, one NGO, one section 8 company can handle the two projects. A company established under section 8 or a registered trust or a registered society established by the central government or the state government, any entity established by the act of parliament or the state legislature like a Swachh Bharat Kosh. You can get it done through that also if you want to maintain, go for the hygiene objects. Now, a company established under section 8 of the act or registered public trust or registered society which has this certification having an established track record of the at least how many years? So either you should be established by the government or it is done by the company itself, or if you are taking the help of the outsider section 8 company, then they should have the track records of 3 years. But let me tell you, this is incomplete data. Now read this one. every entity covered under the sub-rule 1. So whatever entities are covered up over here, whether it is central government, state government, parliament, independent body, companies own, they have to get one certificate called CSR1. They have to get it by way of filing the documents to ROC electronically. And if you don't have the CSR1, then I'm sorry, no matter you are established by the central government, but you are not eligible to take the projects of 135 on behalf of the company. Do you understand what I am saying? यहाँ तक समझ में आई बात आप लोगों को? ठीक है. So after then guys, one more question is, so that is what, like CSR1 shall be signed and submitted electronically, and it shall be verified by a practicing chartered accountant or company secretary or cost accountant who is in practice. तो ये सारी कुछ basic information है. I don't want to go in that. And once you apply for that, CSR registration number will be given, which is a license for the section 8 companies or trust that they can now serve the 135. अभी बहुत सारे अमेंडमेंट्स है मुझे करने हैं. एक और क्वेश्चन ले लेते बेटा. एक काम करते उससे पहले छोटा सा ब्रेक ले ली. ठीक है, मुझे याद करवाना कि अब हम जा रहे हैं अबाउट region, that if you are a company and you want to spend your money at your native place. I'm Gujarati, you know that. I'm earning from Karnataka, but I want to construct the school in Gujarat at my native. Allowed or not allowed? Ultimately, constructing school in Gujarat is also a charity, is also a CSR activity. So it is allowed here or not. So what the law says on this, वो थोड़ा पढ़ना है. ठीक है.